Hello,
Hello.
everybody, and welcome to Prometheus Live. I'm your host, Prometheus, the Prophet, and I got with me today Donna Gacalona and Rob of the YouTube Content Creators Association, a podcast that I am associated with. How's it going, guys?
It's going well.
Hi.
How you doing, buddy? It's
All
good
right,
being
I'm
on.
doing good. We are supposed to be expecting a reporter by the name of Cory Lancaster. She should be coming on the show, and she has specifically said that there should be no cursing on this stream. So we're going to abide by that rule just in case she does come on the show. But until she comes on the show, we're going to have to do some impromptu conversations. So, Rob, would you like to start us off?
Yeah. I want to talk about like how my week's been going, about what I've been doing this week, and I've been playing a lot of video games this week. I've been playing. My brother-in-law actually bought me Far Cry 5 today. Oh, well, not today, 2 days ago, and I've been having a blast playing.
No video.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Video. Yeah, we can hear you just fine. All right, Prometheus. This is Miss Lancaster. I met her through Twitter, and we've had a nice conversation, and I'm very happy to introduce you to the one. This is Prometheus, if you haven't seen his content already, and we have Donna as well.
Hi.
How's it
Hi.
going?
Going well. Going well. How are you guys?
We're doing good. So,
Yeah,
we're good. We understand that you have questions for us?
Yeah, I do. So I've looked at some of you guys' content, and you guys do kind of fall more into an alternative category as opposed to what we see on mainstream YouTube. The stuff that gets a lot of clicks, a lot of views, the content that's predominantly monetized. And I was just wondering what you guys think about that.
Well, we're not too much fans of it. I mean, we prefer that that YouTube monetize all channels equally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel that I understand where YouTube comes from sometimes, where they don't want to where they either they can't monetize everything, or there's certain types of content that they don't want to monetize. But I feel like there's too broad of a brush being painted over these content creators who have even the slightest of I want to say controversial opinions. And it kind of stinks, because I feel like I gotta make my channel what YouTube wants me to make it, and not what I want to make. If that makes any sense.
It's not just like controversial opinions. It's just like your content isn't kid friendly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they want you to have as big of an audience as it's possible, usually.
So have you guys been able to do some research about YouTube's policies and algorithm changes in the last year?
Well, I mean, I don't monetize my channel. I haven't really done monetization, but I kind of try to keep aware of what YouTube is doing with the algorithms.
I understand the algorithm as this. I understand that in order to compete on YouTube, you gotta put out regular content, and sometimes you don't, sometimes you do, but it's also gotta be content that YouTube deems appropriate. The algorithms, I don't know exactly how the algorithms work, but that's my basic understanding of it. And also there's I don't know how they do it, but they somehow determine what channels they would like not to monetize, and what channels they would like to, as in whether it's friendly or not.
Yeah, I looked into it as well. So I'm no expert. But like we all, I think, have some sort of basic knowledge of like how YouTube works.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about the shooting that occurred at the headquarters?
I think it's horrible. I mean, a lot of YouTubers do have a grievance with YouTube over their policies. A lot of the type of things that I've seen YouTube do with the algorithm is kind of go after like anti-establishment political content. And like what this YouTube shooter had, I mean, she made a video. Someone kind of pulled up a video of her complaining about YouTube's policies before the so-called shooting. But I just find it to be disastrous because now it paints YouTubers more in a negative light. And
I didn't hear this. When did this happen?
This was I think it was about a few days ago, maybe last week.
I didn't hear about it. I have no idea.
Yeah. In case you didn't know, Donna lives in Serbia, so she doesn't get a lot of the mainstream news that we get out here in the States. I personally, one, obviously was horrible. Obviously, taking a gun and shooting up YouTube headquarters is not the best way to solve your issues. It's hard for me to want to talk about who's at fault or what's at fault. What I really want to focus on is how can we prevent something like that from happening, and what policies need to be enacted in order for us to keep that from happening again. Although that seems to strike a chord on certain issues with some people.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mentioned it, one, in part because she's a woman, she's older, she's 39, and we just don't see women, especially of that age, anyone of that age really, committing these mass killings and committing such premeditated mass killings. And so for me, I think it speaks to basic human survival, right? Like if you are a full-time YouTuber, or if you have been doing YouTube and have come to use that income to support your complete livelihood, and then all of a sudden, without communication, that number drops and then drops again and then drops again, and you're reaching out for help with the corporation, and you're really not getting that communication back, and then you just reach this point of complete frustration because your livelihood has been taken away. What happened to me at YouTube is kind of no different than what you see happening in poor communities when jobs are taken away and then the crime rate skyrockets. So I do think it's incredibly important to have a conversation about whether or not there should be labor laws for YouTube content creators. And like I said, I think you guys are a really good subset of YouTube to have that conversation with, because we are in such a politically charged time, and you guys' content completely falls into a more political idea space. So I understand the side of the argument where it's like, you know, you want to put out your ideas, and if you develop a community and you develop an organic community and you develop an organic following, and you know, there are people who want to view your content and those people happen to like cleaning supplies, then you know, advertisers can come to your channels, and you should receive revenue for the work that you're doing because you are in accordance with what they put out to be the partner program. However, we're seeing that like that's not the case. So yeah, I just kind of want to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, I was going to say I wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on what policies you would like to see enacted, because you know, like your content is definitely alternative. So we do need to like talk about real policies for alternative content given the time period that we're in right now.
I feel there needs to be protection for those YouTubers who have made it a career. Maybe, I mean, understand that a lot of people will say is like, well, going into YouTube, you're not guaranteed anything, but YouTube has made a lot of people very dependent on them. There are people like, for example, Boogie2988. If YouTube were to go under, his life would be ruined automatically. There needs to be some sort of protection for those kind of content creators that make a living off YouTube and depend on YouTube and depend on that revenue coming in, instead of like, for instance, if I were a bigger YouTuber and they sent me an email one day saying, hey, guess what? We're going under. Time to demonetize everyone. Good luck, everyone. I wouldn't know what to do, and I feel like there should be some protection for those people.
Yeah. So what does that protection look like? And then what do you think is the key measure to say, like, do you think once you are living off YouTube full time, like, do you think you should be submitting that info to the corporation? How are they to know, like by what measure is the threshold of someone who's a full-time YouTuber and someone who is doing this as a hobby and just happens to get supplemental income from it?
Yeah. Well, maybe some form of a severance package would be sufficient enough for some YouTubers. Just enough for them to get on their feet until they get out and get a real job. But like, as I said, Boogie298, who's an obese guy, just had a gastric bypass surgery, and and is unable to move a lot, but he has made a career on YouTube. Someone like him will have to have some sort of severance package. We'll need all sorts of different things to accommodate his lifestyle. But but with someone as big as him, they should be saved up. They should be saving up money too at the same time. I mean, it's kind of tricky. I kind of see where both sides are coming from. First of all, I don't think YouTube really ever owed us anything at the beginning. Like you said in your article, YouTube was the first platform to allow creators to make a profit off their monetization of ads, which was really awesome of them. And I could kind of see both sides, just like you saw both sides on your article.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My opinion is probably quite different from Rob's here. See, I think that once you have a partner program and you sign up for it, I think that is you signing up as a full-time content creator, and you should be able to put out more videos. But some of the things that they take you down for, like copyright mistakes or anything that they consider problematic. But what I think they should do if you're in a partner program is YouTube should be able to inform you ahead of time saying, look, this video will be put in a limited state unless you correct this problem, or something along the lines where they don't give you a strike. They don't take away your ability to stream, because a lot of YouTubers now make money through streaming. Some of the top guys like Tonka Saw, Andy Worski, Baked Alaska, those guys make money from live streaming, and taking away that ability does affect their income. So I think if they're signing up for a partner program, there should be a little bit of understanding that you are dedicating yourself as a full-time content creator. And I think YouTube should recognize that this is your source of income, and they should be more, at least, understanding with how they should approach a problem. Like, say, if you accidentally put up copyrighted material, or you say something wrong that could violate the terms of service, that's, I think, a good start. But also, I think there should be more freedom of speech protections for YouTubers. So, yeah, that's pretty much my opinion on it.
I think that people who are like, there should be some sort of separation, I guess, at least for the people who are like making YouTube the most money. Like, I think they should be treated as employees because YouTube is definitely making as much money off them as they are making for themselves. And for the others, I mean, there should be, I don't know, some sort of like compensation, or at least some sort of basic respect or equality, that is. Like, I mean, it's really, it's not fair that the algorithm only promotes the people who are like getting the most clicks and who are like monetized, basically. So it just like promotes the people who are making them the most money. And it's like, why is that? Well, because they don't monetize anybody else, so they keep pushing.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, I hear all of you guys' perspectives, and I think that it's relevant to insert that YouTube has gotten so big that it's virtually impossible for them to have real methods of monitoring every single video that is uploaded in every single country that they partner with. So part of what the algorithms do is puts an artificial intelligence system in place to help with the growth of YouTube. And I think what we're seeing now is that because YouTube has gotten so big, we now have, this issue of content creators who are acting as employees. However, that was not the intention of YouTube. And now it's gotten to a place where if it were to scale back and it were to treat certain content creators like employees, then certain parts of YouTube would get completely left out of what it would mean to even benefit from certain algorithms that promote the content or pair advertisers with viewers that will watch your content in its entirety. And I think that in the interim, as content creators and YouTube, you both have to be taking steps to work towards a middle ground. And I think that what we're seeing is that content creators are saying, YouTube has to do something, and YouTube is trying to do something. I think they could be doing a lot better just as far as basic communication, and then just like, I don't think that their community guidelines policy is enough. I think that they need to have in-depth policies and privacy offices that put forth these administrative policies for content creators in a more expansive, comprehensive way. But I would say that if you notice that your content is something that could possibly be flagged, that could get your entire channel demonetized, well, one, like, don't put forth that type of content with music that is copyrighted, because that's a surefire way to get your entire channel demonetized and then put you into this bucket of needing that manual review, which, from my understanding, could take months. And I think that, if you're creating content full time, then you can't put yourself you kind of have to take the responsibility to not put yourself in play in such a large way. And I just mean that if YouTube is your full-time source of income, then how do you, as an employee, if your corporation was changing and the organizational structure was changing, you got a new boss, you got new coworkers, you didn't like them, you realized that it was time for you to go, well, you would have the conversation maybe with your manager, which is what's missing in this case, and that needs to be corrected. But you would also be kind of taking personal steps. Like, you might start saving a lot more money to prepare yourself to be okay in a period of transition. You might start looking for other opportunities for revenue. You might start to discourage anyone from speaking up on YouTube. It's more so to say that if we're gonna, bark at YouTube and tell them, okay, there is a subset that does need to be treated as, employees, well, then act like employees, right? What do you guys think that looks like on your end as content creators? If we were to take the full, like, YouTube is a corporation and we are its employees, what do you think that your responsibility is in that space?
Well, I'm not exactly in favor of that kind of frame. Like, as far as content creators go, they have other platforms they can use. They can use them simultaneously. I mean, there's Steemit, there's BitChute, there was VidMe. That was another platform where they can put all their videos. So if you're an employee of one, like of YouTube, then you can't exactly put your content on other channels. So I think we're more like independent contractors. But what I do think that YouTube does need to do is they need to protect, like I said, offer a chance for more of a free speech platform, like they claimed in the past. But now it just seems like they're cracking down on people who express opinions, or this is at least in the political realm, but they crack down on people's opinions that some people at YouTube probably would not agree with. And I am personally against that.
Do you think that it's the people at YouTube, or do you think it's the advertisers that advertise over videos? Because in my research, it's not necessarily YouTube that has the issue with the content. It's the fact that the business model of YouTube is pairing content with advertisements, and then having viewers interact and engage and purchase products and services based on those advertisements. So do you think that it's the advertisers that are upset with the content, or do you think it's YouTube that is upset with the content? And do you think that in either case, like, can you see why the argument is complex?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that the advertisers may be, like if they see their video on some type of content that really should not be up there, that is a mistake of the algorithm. And what YouTube should have done and say, look, we'll correct that algorithm mistake. But guess what? Your majority of your advertisements are going on content that is not in that category. That's what I think they first should have done. But I do think it's a lot of people. I think it's Google fired James Damore over just putting a memo, just a memo that said he disagreed with an opinion, and Google fired him. And Google owns YouTube. And then you have advertisers that are against putting their stuff on what they call hateful content. And this was because of the Wall Street Journal article that said that PewDiePie was doing like Nazi videos, but if you actually watch the videos, you see that they take him completely out of context. So I do think there's a lot of people to blame for what's happening.
I think it's definitely both YouTube and the advertisers. And I mean, I think their YouTube does have some fault in it, because for example, like a lot of the videos about, like, let's say religion get completely demonetized, and I do not believe that there are like no advertisers that are disinterested in putting their ads on like videos about religion. I mean, they should give them the ability to like choose which categories they want to be in and which categories they don't want their ads to play on.
I don't know. I think YouTube is at fault. You know, one, the advertisers don't have that much say on what their ads are going to show up on, at least at the time of the adpocalypse. Because if they had say on what videos or ads would show on, it wouldn't show up on that video to begin with. Secondly, I think it was more of it seemed like to us content creators that it was more of an excuse to pull ad revenue away from smaller channels and other channels that they disagreed with. And it seemed like the pattern being that there was a clear pattern of what channels were being demonetized, whether most time, more likely than not, were completely acceptable channels. I like channels where people go out and shoot guns were all of a sudden having a hard time getting monetized. People playing video games where there are guns in the games were all of a sudden demonetized. Completely harmless videos were being demonetized. And the advertisers, sure, they have a say to pull their ads away from YouTube when they find that the ads are being played on a video that they don't like. Sure, they can do that, but once they give YouTube the okay to run the ads, they really don't have a say or that much of a say on what videos they're going to show up on, especially at the time before the apocalypse.
So were you guys all on YouTube before Apocalypse?
I was on YouTube maybe like 4 or 5 months before the apocalypse. That's when I started. It doesn't really matter to me, you know, because I never made money on YouTube, but that's just what it seems like to me, you know.
Yeah, I started making. Oh, go ahead, Donna.
Yeah, I wasn't just. I don't think Prometheus was either, right?
Well, I think I had created a channel in January, but I didn't make my first video until like I think right around the start of the apocalypse.
Right. Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear all of what you're saying. And just from the policy perspective, you know, I do think that this is absolutely a time where, you know, regulatory agents can step in and really put that pressure on to put some protections in place. And even, you know, YouTubers together, you guys can unionize and really just, you know, conglomerate and bring your issues to the forefront. I think especially with the shooting, you really do have the momentum because I've seen some people classify Nasim as having mental illness, and she might have. I mean, all of that's up for speculation, but I mean, it doesn't change the fact that someone's livelihood did disappear essentially overnight, and that is scary for anyone, whether you're, you know, on YouTube or an executive at, you know, a top firm. So so I do absolutely think that there needs to be some middle ground, and I think that this is the time where policy definitely needs to step in. However, I realize that policy is a very long process. You know, you have an issue and then you start to formulate drafts and you get some momentum with your issues, but there does tend to be years between, you know, problem and solution. So do you guys have any idea of what compromise looks like in the interim period? So for example, I've seen that some employees at YouTube are starting to put forth YouTube videos that do explain the algorithms. Like I saw one video that explained like when you go live, that there are alerts that some of your subscribers will get. and the algorithm will give those alerts to your most active subscribers as well as like your most active viewers. So I think that that's really informative. And I think that was absolutely a right approach of YouTube to explain that. Do you guys have any other ideas of what a solution would look like in the interim between like actual policy protection and where we are right now?
You know, I'm not going to say that I have any solutions or that I know how to fix any kind of problem. What needs to happen is a discussion. What needs to happen is that it's like the gun debate with me. It's like, I'm not for guns. I'm not against guns, but I believe there needs to be a debate. And I feel like that's the best way to solve whatever issues we're having. And I think the best solution, the overall solution to YouTube's problems is having a discussion with its creators, like we're having right now, but we need to have it with members that can actually do something with YouTube. If you don't talk to your creators, and it is hard to talk to YouTube, as you know, I have tried going to the support, going to the help, trying to talk to somebody at YouTube, and I understand that there's billions of hours of YouTube being uploaded each day. And I understand that, but there needs to be a discussion on how we could streamline the communication between YouTubers and YouTube, so that issues can be brought up and resolved a lot easier.
So, can you talk more about that? So, when you reach out to support, what can you like maybe describe what that process is like?
Well, like let's just say, when I was monetized, even though I'd never made money, I like being monetized because it seemed like it kind of helped out with the algorithm. Mm-hmm. But when I was monetized and the video would get demonetized, I would submit for review. I had videos that were submitted for review for months, and then I would contact support. I would say, "Hey, can you guys help me out? This video has been submitted for a review. I don't understand why it's. I mean, I don't care if it's approved or not. I just want to know if they approve it or not." And I would never get a response. Never. Not once have I gotten a response from YouTube.
Wow.
And I wasn't asking much. I was just like, "Hey, are we good or not?"
Yeah. No, I definitely think that's definitely not fair at all. Wow. So I do think that YouTube is having, or, actually I don't know, but I've seen larger creators make videos voicing their concerns, and that seems to be a way for YouTube to have a better understanding of maybe what some of those creators are dealing with. Have you guys done that as far as like making videos to contribute to the discussion?
This whole channel was made in that idea. That's what this whole channel's about.
Yeah.
Well, your specific channel.
Yeah. My bad. My specific channel. The one I contacted you on Twitter. The whole idea.
Okay. Yeah. No, great.
So let me tell you about.
Has the channel gotten any support from YouTube? Because when we connected with you, we thought you were affiliated.
No.
Yeah. So like, has the channel, like, has your YouTubers Content Creators Association, have you guys gotten any feedback from YouTube, or like actually been able to have that discussion with someone at YouTube headquarters?
We haven't had any discussion really with anyone at YouTube headquarters, but then again, we haven't really been to the point where we've contacted them ourselves. We just kind of said, "Hey, here's this Content Creator Association that, because us small YouTubers need to stick out and hang out with each other and try to keep each other growing," because it was clear that it was becoming harder for a small content creator to get their opinions out there. And then we figured that if we get together, we'll do a little bit better. But YouTube, we haven't really received any acknowledgement of our existence from YouTube, or nor did we expect it. But basically, we're just the hope is that one day we'll become big enough. And I want to point out another point about the big content creators. Yes, the big content creators do point out a lot of the stuff that's plaguing YouTube, but the last time when YouTube issued the whole small content creators demonetization fiasco that was going on, and it seemed like the big YouTube channels didn't have our backs on that one. It felt like we were by ourselves, and that's how we kind of got together, because we didn't have big YouTubers sticking up for us. We had a lot of big YouTubers telling us to suck it up and move on.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the consensus. In fact, there was only one big YouTuber that we all met through. The only big YouTuber that said anything on our side. That's how we met, was through his channel and through his comment section, and that's how we decided to start this channel. Start my channel.
Were these big YouTubers also in the kind of like political ideology news space?
Couple of them were in the ideology, kind of like current events / political and religious stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Prometheus.
There was one that, like you said, Boogie. He was one. I saw one from Chris Raygun, who was a YouTuber, but he was telling us, like, it's not like he was like bending over to help us, but he was trying to make a video to encourage us that, you can power through it. But the YouTuber that really got us together, it really said, you know what, put your channel name in the comments section below, and try to help each other out. That was TJ Kirk. He's been a YouTuber for over 10 years. And that's yeah. So he's basically, without TJ's video, we wouldn't have met, and we wouldn't have started what we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, also don't forget to mention Vadim. He is also supportive.
Yes.
Well, we have met Vadim Newquest, who has about 61,000 subscribers, and he has been on our show. He didn't really make a video or anything, but he has shown his support to us by being on our show and giving us advice. He actually talks to me regularly about how we can improve our show and stuff like that. But that's pretty much the amount of support that we've gotten. That's, unless you guys think of anything else besides all the creators that come on our channel who do a great job supporting us as well.
Yeah, I mean, the only way to reach YouTube is right now is through big YouTubers or like mass outrage. That's basically it.
Oh, excuse me. But even with that, though, I mean, large YouTubers have made videos criticizing YouTube and these policies, but these policies have only gotten worse. I mean, there's now been Adpocalypse 1.0 and I think 2.0, because something else happened, but I can't pinpoint what it was. But it was
Logan Paul.
Not worse.
Is Logan Paul?
Oh yeah, I think it was the Logan Paul thing. Then and then I don't know what caused the hit on small content creators. I have no idea what that was.
No, I
think they had that planned out for a while. And
they had that.
Yeah, it just seemed like the Logan Paul thing caused it
just
because it happened
right
around the same time. But I think we've come to the realization that was pretty much in the works prior to that.
That was in part kind of response to the discovery of how YouTube played a role in some of the information warfare that influenced the 2016 election. And so that was kind of a measure to vet channels as being legitimate, and ideas is actually coming from people, like ideas as being authentic and coming from real people, as opposed to being kind of planted. And that's we're seeing kind of like the extent to which information and ideas can be constructed, especially with all that what's going on with Facebook. So I do know that measure was in part, largely in part, in response to some of the fake content that was put up, and how that was able to affect different subsets of people. And so I do kind of want to get you guys' thoughts on that too, because when you are in the political space, especially at this, in this political climate, people have differing opinions about, who's in office, and, about each other as, members. I know that Donna's in Serbia, but as Americans, this is a very unique political time. And and this is a very unique time in technology, a very unique time in policy, where we're starting to see mass platforms like Facebook and YouTube, really have to go back and assess what their corporate mission really is, right? And what that looks like, and what does, like in Facebook's case, when you're building this global community, well, how are you vetting who gets access and who doesn't? Who's allowed to be in our community, the community, and who isn't? And the same thing goes with YouTube. So I think we're in this time of a real assessment about what technology means and how that affects people, and how it affects something as big as an election and now who we have in office. For you guys as content creators who do speak on politics and do have such like strong, I don't know what else to call it, titles. Like I know in some of your Twitter bios, it's like atheist, or like ex-social justice warrior, or individualist, right? When you have those tags attached to yourself, I can completely see how an algorithm could look at those tags and put you in a bucket that may not even give you the opportunity to have someone view your content before judging you. In one way or another. What do you guys say to that kind of complex relationship between free speech and the freedom to be authentic in your views, but then also exist on a platform that is just dealing with so much backlash from such a completely like unforeseen externality with this last election?
Okay. Like I said, I mean, I'm a free speech absolutist. I'm in favor of anybody being able to have a political opinion, because how things usually work on YouTube and how they've worked for years is when someone makes a video and it's, say, factually inaccurate or something like that, other YouTubers would make what's called a response video to that person, debunking every single one of their points. So there is some sort of fact policing among the YouTube community itself. So that's one. And two, you kind of hit the nail on the head. I mean, all of this started, I think, because of what happened with the 2016 election, because mainstream outlets had a candidate they supported, and alternative media was mostly in favor of the other candidate, and the other candidate won. And I think now mainstream outlets are realizing they're losing relevance, because they are losing subscribers for their newspapers. They are losing viewerships for their television programs and their online profiles. And we're starting to eclipse them. And I think that's getting them nervous. So that's why they're starting to take this more draconian approach with us, because I think we now are getting more power to affect things than they ever foresaw.
I agree with you, Prometheus. I agree that as in I'm a free speech absolutist as well. I feel that, however, that that the information that we're given to a site like Facebook or a site like YouTube, I feel like this is being framed as, or what has happened, like with example Facebook has been happened as in like, oh, this is somehow leaked, or this is something. No, it was given. I think it was given away. If
It was given away with the Cambridge Analytica thing.
Yeah, it was given away. It was, it was not an accident. It's so.
Obama
That's
did the
what
same thing.
Yeah, see? And with the political climate, I'm putting it out there. I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump. I am not a huge fan of him. I'm
not either.
Yeah, I bet.
I also don't want you guys to think that I'm like judging or critiquing your beliefs at all.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, you've been really good on that.
Yeah. If you want to judge, go right ahead.
No, I'm not.
Might make the show a little bit more fun. But
I'm a fan.
No, you're. Oh, Donna.
Oh, Donna.
Oh, Donna. Well, anyway, like with Donald Trump and how he's got elected. Look, stupid people are going to be swayed by con men all the time, and I mean, no matter what we do, it's just going to happen. There's going to be fake media out there, and they're going to get their grubby hands on it, and they're just going to agree with whatever fits their worldview, regardless of what information or what facts you hand out to them. So I understand that there's fake stuff being pushed all over the internet. I understand fake stuff is being pushed on YouTube and Facebook. It's up to us as consumers of that media to educate ourselves and to be better citizens of this country and not vote uninformed. And I think that's the problem with this country, is that a lot of people vote uninformed.
Right. And then
they vote for a team, really.
Yeah. I don't think that that's new, right? And I don't think that it's new with a subset of people like really pushing for a more informed electorate at all, and then just finding barriers like exactly what we're seeing with YouTube, right? Is that you come on and you want to express an opinion, and then just because of kind of just what's happened overall, ideas that are based in fact are sometimes not as on display as other ideas. So, I agree that like this dialogue is super, super important, and it is a part of a larger cultural movement, right? Which does affect politics, absolutely. So, we do need to really find the middle ground, and I think that that's a really important policy question. So.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for talking to me.
No problem.
Is there anything else you want to say? I don't have anything else. Were there any other ideas in the article that maybe stood out to you or anything? Any questions that you have for me?
I just want to thank you for coming on, and it was a really fun. It was a really fun conversation. If you want to, I know we're on Prometheus show, but I'm just gonna throw the invitation to just go ahead and promote your any website you have or anything like that out. At this time, if you want.
Well,
you okay with that, Prometheus?
Oh yeah, if you can just DM me your DM me any of your information, I can post it. I can put it on the description below. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we'll do. Just my Twitter, my Instagram, and then just the article, so that everyone knows kind of what we're talking about, what started, what started this dialogue. Yeah. So, and I'm happy to shout you guys out on my platform too. I want you guys to grow. I mean, that's how it starts. Like that's how movements start.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. It's been very fun.
It was great having you.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.
All right. That was pretty good.
That was good, yeah.
I didn't swear once.
I don't think any of us did. We were good boys. We used our church voices.
We did. Hey guys, I was there one thing. I'm really proud of you guys. You guys did it. I understand how hard that must have been, especially for you, Donna. But
Yeah, you were like doing your smoke your vape thing in the middle of the stream. I'm like, come on, man.
my bad, Judge. Yeah,
It's a fancy stream
but
Right.
on Prometheus's fancy channel.
yeah.
Yep.
I love your fancy channel, by the way. I love your new avatar.
Yeah, this one actually is more what do you call it? It's public domain. So
Yeah,
I
it's
was
definitely shirt
able to
friendly.
paint it and use it. So
Put that on a shirt, I'll buy it. All right,
yeah, I'll
so
definitely put this one on a shirt. I'm also
Yeah,
I'm
it's
going to be
so
making a
cute.
video soon, and I'm going to be debuting some new artwork that I've come up with.
there's something I
So-
wanted to put out, if that's all right with you guys.
Oh, no problem.
All right, so we all know the Geek Room. The Geek Room are great friends of the show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so they have a GoFundMe out right now. A GoFundMe for their 100th episode. They're gonna go. I think they're gonna go down somewhere. I'm not sure. I forget where. But they're gonna go down. They're gonna do a 100th episode. So they're trying to raise $1,700. I personally threw $20 into their GoFundMe. I just want to let our listeners know that the Geek Room has a GoFundMe. Check it out, and maybe throw them a few bucks here or there, even if it's just
All right.
$1. You know.
All right, so before we go, let's take a look at the chat and see what's going on.
Oh, Lavender
We have
Lady
3
just says hi.
viewers.
Lavender Lady said hi to me. That's all I saw.
Oh, Lavender Lady. Yeah, I was on. She's friends with Anti-Ordinary. I was on a stream with them.
Well,
Remember
hi,
that
Lavender
stream I
Lady.
showed up
Yeah,
on with
hi.
Anti-Ordinary?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So yeah.
Lavender Lady. Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah, Lavender Lady.
All right. So yeah, like I said, I'll put your channels in the description. I'll put Miss Lancaster's information in the description. So if you guys want to have a chat with
Please
her, or follow her, whatever.
I would love to have her. I would love to have her on again with another
Yeah.
YouTuber. I'm not sure who, but maybe like the Geek Room.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe
I mean,
it's-
yeah, I think we can do like one. Maybe we can invite her to the Super Show.
Yeah, Virus Super Show. Lavender Lady, you're invited too. She's stoked that she heard her name.
Yeah.
But yeah, she would come to the Super Show, and we could all.
Yeah, that will definitely be an interesting. So we'll definitely get some of the more large YouTubers there. I'm going to try and get some. So yeah.
Yeah. Also, could you put the Geek Room's GoFundMe information or?
All right. Just DM it to me, and I'll put it on.
Will do. I'll do that right now.
Okay.
All right, guys. I love
All right.
you guys.
This has been the Prometheus live show. So I'm going to let Donna and Rob do their sign-offs. Or for Rob, it's going to have to be a modified sign-off due to the language rule. So
I'm the
Bye.
atheist veteran.
okay. First Donna, then you.
Oh, first time.
Bye.
Okay. I'm the atheist veteran. Fickle off.
Okay. And I'm Prometheus the Prophet, signing off.
Bye, guys.
Bye.